Grumble, grumble.
Hey everyone, it's the Grumpy Meeple, and we are back at it with our Tanares the Adventures playthrough. This is week 1, phase 2, adventure C, quest 9, the third eye. Let's get our reading glasses and get right to it. All right. Rescue one of your heroes from a secret outpost of the Third Eye. Deactivate orbs of detection, release prisoners, and move to other rooms to delay the arrival of overwhelming reinforcements responding to the alarm. So the primary objective is kill all the villains before the time token drops to 0. If you lose, read defeat journal, begin event 2 for more rewards. Okay, interesting. The extra challenge is the time token is on slot 8 or higher when you win the quest. I don't even really remember what the extra challenge gets you. Extra loot, I think. Special rules, risky plan. A brave teammate was captured, but another had put a tracking spell on it. Deeply connected for this mission, their spirits fire up when the other is harmed. So the hero with the torch is the captive. That is him, and he's in this unique room. So there's a room tile sitting on top of the board here, which is pretty cool. It's like the prison. He's the captive. He starts the quest with 55 hit points and no items equipped. And I believe we're good on all that. Yeah. The hero with the hook is the tracker, and I gave the hook to my healer over here. Once per turn, if one of these heroes, captive or tracker, takes damage or residual damage from an enemy, including from effects, the other one gains 2 mana. We also have the alarm time token. It is summoning overwhelming reinforcements that may arrive at any time. Time token starts on 6. You reduce time by 1 for each orb of detection in play. If it drops to 0, you lose the quest. So these are the orbs of detection. Orb of detection. Don't ignore these orbs. They communicate with the alarm to inform your position to the reinforcements. So you have to pay 3 to remove pay 3 mana to remove an orb from the grid, and it's an interact action. So what that means is, this is tricky because 3 mana is quite a bit. And the only way that I'm going to get that kind of mana is by charging in and taking damage between these two so that they're feeding each other mana. And luckily, Nick started with a mana because of the the journal phase. And so I think my first goal is going to be to activate our new guy here, Valorant, and get him to provoke that enemy, do some damage, and then hopefully, which is kind of a weird hope, take some damage. I mean, he will either way with the residual damage, which will feed her 2 mana, which she can immediately use to deactivate the red orb. So that's going to be my starting gambit here. There's also 2 prisoners on the board. They have 25 hit points and 2 defense. Your enemies may attack escaping prisoners because they are making a scene. Release them to calm them down and reduce the heat on you. Prisoners are heroes for the villains. They may be their favorite target. Okay, so they will prioritize them in targeting. You can also pay an interact and 3 mana to remove a prisoner from the grid. The prisoner is released, you increase the time by 1. So saving those guys is a mechanism for increasing the time. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of weird. How does that reduce the heat on you? I don't really understand that. They give you a rule reminder on chests. There are no chests on the board right now, so we don't need to worry about that at the moment. And then we did the initial setup. Place the hero with the torch, the prisoners and the orcs on the prison room tile. Place the other 2 heroes on the other heroes on the stairs. Each of the 4 heroes may reassign 2 skill tokens. I already did all that. Place your sentinels and snipers. The orc in the prison starts with 35 hit points instead of its max. Yellow door, which is that and that, can't take damage or be opened. Then, after reading the special rules, read 9-1. And then finally, at the end of a round, if all villains are dead, read 9-2. Alright, so let's pop over to 9-1. Check the table below. If you have a mana cube on slot 4, apply consequences. A hero with a torch token is still wounded from the ambush that preceded its imprisonment. This hero starts with 45 hit points instead of 55. I don't have that. I'm on slot 7. So that hero, yeah, 55. We don't have the orcs rebelling against Iron Hand Fact. And so that's it. Quest 9, Third Eye begins now. Take the first turn. I will. Don't be so fucking bossy. All right. So we know what we're going to do. We're going to start with Valorant over here. I don't really know what kind of a prisoner he's supposed to be. If he's fully capable of moving around his environment and attacking his incredibly weak guard. But whatever. We're not going to worry about that, are we? Let's see. So I really don't want to kill this guy outright. As a matter of fact, I need to be absolutely sure that I do not kill him, because the only way that I'm going to get fed enough mana on Nyx to get that away is if this guy survives long enough to attack multiple times. I also don't want him targeting the prisoners, and so I'm probably going to need to just get like right up next to this guy, or maybe a space away, so that my abilities are working, you know, and try to draw his ire. He is the orc mystic, so he's trying to target the hero who is actually farthest away. Okay, so scratch that. I want to stay maybe not right where I am, but because I'm not sure about line of sight there. But I don't want to get super close to him. He's got a movement of 5. Could I move in like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? That'd be like perfect. So I'm gonna move in there. And then he's going to do some kind of an attack. He's definitely not going to do either of his power attacks. He does have his 2 level 1 attacks, though. Vile Disease hits 2 enemies, and I don't want to do that. Damage per hit plus effect. Each fatigued target takes 5. Oh, okay, so that's actually super powerful on people who have already activated. I think it hit 2 enemies. Yeah, that could do 12 damage. That's very interesting. Lilac Eclipse. 8 squares, 1 enemy, 7 damage plus effect. Target is exposed. A hero gains 2 mana. Okay, so obviously we want to do that because that's a lot of fucking mana. All right, so we're gonna do the Lilac Eclipse. Yeah, 8 squares, 1 enemy, 7 damage plus effect. Target is exposed. Okay, so starting off with his passive, trigger target is within 4. First hit of your turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Effect: pay 3 hit points to make 2 basic attacks against another enemy. Right, this guy's insanely powerful. Unfortunately, he can't target anyone else, so he kind of skips that because he just happens to be stuck in this room. So he's just going to do his Lilac Eclipse against the Mystics 7 defense. He moved, so he can't focus. Focus. Yeah, so it's not empowered or disempowered or anything. Let's go to the mana. Well, I guess nobody has any mana but her, and she can't afford to piss it away. So it's going to be a straight up attack. And he gets a 9, so he hits. Woohoo! So he's doing 7 damage to Bobby Blue there. So the target is exposed. 3. Exposed. Should punch some holes in this shit and so I can bind them together. It's annoying having to pick them all up separately. -3 to defense against enemies. Yes, very nice, very nice. What's the fucking symbol for it? What? Here's your condition tokens. Empowered, protected, preserved, weakened, distracted, bleeding. Where the fuck is exposed? I guess I just put the card on him, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, and a hero gains 2 mana. That hero is going to be Nyx. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Here you go, you little bitch. Okay. Pretty sure that's it for me. So his turn is done, and now he activates. And he's fucking pissed. The Orc Mystic. He's got the Rapid Great Axe. He's got a range of 2. He's targeting the hero who's farthest away, which is definitely me. He's doing 14 damage plus effect, yeah, so he moves into range. Boop, boop. Okay, so this is interesting. They said they treat them as heroes. But they don't take like reaction damage and shit from them, do they? Prisoners are heroes for the villains. They may be their favorite target. Oh, there's no stat for it. No. Okay, yeah, so he's trying to do 14 damage to Valorant. Valorant has casteth this spell. I guess I'll leave it there for now. And he needs a 6 by default. Now, Nixie's going to have a shitload of mana. Because if he gets hit by this, she's going to get another 2 mana. She's going to be full up on mana already. I'm just trying to decide if I should try and protect him so he takes a little less damage. No, that would just make it more likely that the guy would miss, and I don't want that. Oops. He gets a 16. Okay, could be worse. He's doing 14 damage to this one over. So that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Back this up a little bit. Oh, I can't. The fucking madness box is over there waiting to be unboxed on camera. Get the fuck out of here, madness box. Tell me my business. Okay. Plus effect. Echo 6. Another hero closest and in 8 of this enemy takes 6 damage. Okay, but they never told you to track those guys' health. Did they? Prisoners have 25 hit points and 2 defense. No, they really don't call that out. Okay, well, I guess I need a means of tracking prisoner health too, but you know, like, there's only so many of these. Like, yo, when you make future iterations of this, make these fucking things in like 5 different configurations. Make a square one, make a fucking triangle one, make a goddamn octagon, like whatever. So that, you know, because I can't use this because I'm already using it for my heroes. So I will get confused. And okay, maybe it has a slightly different symbol on it, but who the fuck is gonna like be staring at it to that degree that they're gonna notice that? Nobody. So don't fucking do it. I don't know why you're so fucking locked into your circles. You circle loving motherfuckers. Where is my fucking purple here? Am I missing something here? For whatever reason, there is not a purple. Like standard token. Unless it's buried in here somewhere. It's totally possible. That's about the most annoying thing I've ever experienced. I guess there are no purple villains. Oh, I'm holding the purple. You fucking Nimrod. I need the green. That's my bad. So these guys started with 25 hit points. And Tommy Green guy is taking 6. Not unprovoked. He is disengaged. No other villain is within one of the target. Deal +5 damage. and push 3 the target. Okay, so he pushes me back 1. And he deals another 5 damage. Which is a lot of damage. It's not cool. But in doing damage, he does feed me my mana. Oh, and the mana feed is just once per turn. If one of these heroes takes damage, the other gains 2. Yeah. All right. Well, he just kind of kicked the shit out of me. You're fucking dead meat next turn because I don't need your ass anymore. She's got 5. Yummy's got 5. Nyx has got 5 mana. So this is gonna be fine. Alrighty. I'm tempted to try and blitz her up here and remove that one, but she doesn't have the movement. At the same time, I want to at least be sure that I can do that next turn. Maybe we start with somebody else. Let me deal with her. Oh, right. Yeah, we need to start with the Brute. Because the Brute had his NPC still with him. Start of quest. Move 6 and deal 7 damage to a villain within one of you. Awesome. Who do I want to deal 7 damage to? This fucking guy's got 60 hit points. He's not going anywhere. The two archers are a real pain. The blue one in particular, because he's got that echo. This other one, his base attack hits like a fucking Mack truck, 21 damage, but he doesn't have a very powerful secondary. All of that said, he's probably the only one who's going to be able to get to those guys. So I want to be targeting here. Farthest away, most hit points, most mana. I'm just going to go for the guy right in front of me. I'm going to activate the Brute. Yeah. He's going to move right there. His passive triggers. No ally is within 1 of the target. First hit of your turn. Effect. Gain 1. Move to an ally. Right there. Beautiful. Just trying to remember in terms of when that passive actually activates. Passives are a little weird because they're kind of different for each character. Okay. So he's got to hit first before that Okay. What's he gonna hit with? That's the question. I don't think I'm gonna burn one of my super powers yet. Shipwreck Blow has the benefit you move 3, does 10 damage plus effect, deal 6 damage to another enemy within 2 of you. That's not going to be possible. Perfect Blow, 2 squares, 1 enemy, plus 3 to attack roll. Okay. Savage Weapon, 1 square, 1 enemy, 13 damage. Suppose Perfect Blow would probably be good to save. I guess I'm just going to go Savage Weapon in this middle order. Yeah. Guy's got a defense of 6. I get a 6. All right, so I hit. I do 13 damage to him right off the bat, right? Like if we're going down the order here. Right. First, you apply your passive power. So he gets the mana. She gets to move 2. Apply attack damage. The attack damage is 13. And that's pretty much it. Nothing fancy. Nothing fancy. Okay. That's it for him. I don't want to spend any. I've had to do this beforehand. I could still spend mana, but the only person who has it is her, and she needs it to clear those alarms. So, no. I'm just going to activate the sniper. Sniper's targeting the hero with the most hit points. That happens to be Herodotus or her. Yeah, I'm going to keep it at Herodotus. It's a ranged attack. Yeah, so what? He's gonna have to move. Why wouldn't you put turn of a hero and turn of a villain on the same fucking card? Like in the back. It's kind of silly. Determines the target. Yeah, he'll sidestep to here. So that he's not right up next to me. And then he attacks. Apply the target's passive if triggered. Oh wait, so there's an order of operations that passes too. The villain is within one of the target. Didn't matter in that turn. Passive, no other hero is within one of the target. That is not true. So his passive is wasted. And this is only when it hits. So I gotta roll first. He gets a 3 or a 2, so he misses. Fuck you. Yeah, he misses, so he just does his residual damage of 8. Pitiful. That was not him. Okay. So next up, I mean, let's just go with Yemi. Just could do an interact and pay 3 mana to remove this orb. Boom. So she still has 4 movement. Should I choose to move? Let's see what she's got going on, and let's see about her passive. Ally is within 3 of you. First hit of your turn, deal +5 damage. That sounds very nice. She can't focus because she did the interact, which is unfortunate. And she's not going to do one of her super abilities. I'm going to piss those away in the first room. Pew pew. Forgo your passive power, +3 to attack roll. 7 damage plus effect, deal 6 damage, and you're hastened. Circle of Healing. 8 damage. Effect, heal 3/2 heroes. That might not be the worst idea in the world. I came into this a little beat up. Holy Ray, 6 damage plus effect, heal 7. Or Life Tithe, 7 damage plus effect, move 3 an ally. Choose one. You or an ally heals 6, or both of you heal 4. Does she actually need healing, or was she full? Well, yeah, even she does need healing. Move 3 an ally. Alright, I think I'll do Life Tithe. Feel like it. Again, I'm not spending any mana. She misses. Oh, and she is whatever the fuck that is. Weakened. Yeah, she does -3 attack damage. It's a little confusing if weakened applies to residual damage, but I'm gonna assume that it does. Damn, he is too, or was. So let's go down 3 more. She is weakened. And so she's just dealing 2 residual damage. Almost puts the guy right back where he was. Okay. Man, I swear I just misplaced this stuff. Oh, that's right, it's on his card. Hard to track these cards. Oh, in her passive as well. Yeah, she didn't hit, so she doesn't get the passive. Damn. Alright, well at least we got some of those weakens out of the way. That is it for the Lady Nyx. Now these guys are going to be unprovoked, which means they're going to hit even harder. And the one that I'm the most worried about is definitely not the Guardian. I'm worried about Bobby Blue there. I don't think that she's going to be able to do anything about that, though. Damn, she loses her passive, too. She's not close enough. Gotta get those passives, baby. Oh, I did miss, though, and so everybody gets a mana. Which actually gives her enough mana to clear the next post. So that's actually fucking awesome. Okay, Champion's Charge. 1 square, 1 enemy, you move 3. 12 damage plus effect. You are protected. I think I'm going to just keep it simple and do that, basically. So I'm going to activate her. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to do the Champion's Charge. So she's going to move 1, 2. She can move there because she won't trigger a reaction from him because she's using the benefit to do the move. Yeah, so she rolls. And this is my new Guardian ability that I got, or Tank ability that I got. She rolls a 19, so she hits. She does 12 damage to this motherfucker right here. Plus effect, you are protected 3 once per turn. Yeah. Put that right there. Just coming over here and looking at what I can do on one of my friend's turns. Onslaught, run 5 to an enemy. It takes 1 damage for each space he ran. He could actually do that. I know I need the mana, but could box that motherfucker in. Because he's going to be trying to attack Nyx. Which would actually be good if I get him away from her. No, target, another hero closest and within 8 of this target takes 8 damage. I think that Echo is a little too powerful. I think the range on it is kind of ridiculous because there's really no situation in which that I've encountered so far. Like on this board, it would be virtually impossible to avoid the Echo damage from this. Which is great in terms of upping the difficulty, but shit in terms of strategic decision making. Like right now, if I thought I could get far enough away from her so that when he activates and attacks her, I could avoid the Echo, I might be tempted to use one of my skills. But I know that I can't because this part of the board is barely even 8 spaces long. And so there's no point in doing that beyond just doing the damage. And so you have less tactical decisions because the radius of the ability is so kind of overpowered. So yeah, that is kind of shit. But anyways, moving on. So it's got a range of 8. And so her turn is over, and we're activating Bobby Blue here. He's got a range of 8. So he's targeting the hero who's farthest away. So he's targeting Nyx. Which means he's not going to do anything. Like sidestepping doesn't do him any good. He's still adjacent to her, so he's going to take reaction damage. Right. All right. Let's just make sure. Retaliation, right? No, it's not retaliation. It is just a reaction. Declare the target of a ranged attack on your prime action. This is really shittily worded. If a combatant incites reaction if it declares the target of a ranged attack on its prime action and it's adjacent to an enemy, is the part that they're leaving out there. So, boop. He gets retaliated for 8. Yeah, she has a very powerful retaliation, which is nice. Yeah, the circle. It's another little bit of feedback. There are more than 8 colors in the spectrum of human eyesight, so use more than 8 colors. Like, don't use the fucking base sizes. Like, I don't really get that. Just makes it confusing and awkward to fucking remember, like, oh right, this guy's got this color. Yeah, especially solo. All this stuff is magnified when you're solo, obviously. Anyways, he's doing his attack. For 14 on the Yemster. He rolls a 2, so he misses. Haha, fuck you. He's not unprovoked. So his passive still triggers after his attack roll, right? He doesn't get that because he missed. So he just does 8 residual damage to her, which is virtually nothing. You fool. And now he is the closest of my enemies to death, and so is going to become my priority target on the next turn. That is my 4 heroes activated, and so the last one to activate is the Sentinel Guardian. He's attacking the person with the most mana, which is Nyx. His movement is 5. Okay, so yeah, that's the shortest route. So he'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, move right there, and take the spike damage, which I believe is 4. It's another rule I don't love, this idea that you only take the spike damage once. Like, how does that make any sense? You step onto this spot and it hurts you. Why would stepping onto subsequent spots not also hurt you? But it specifically says 4 damage once per turn. I get maybe it's a balancing thing, but I would rather them balance the hit points up or something to adjust for the fact that people can take multiple spike damages, because otherwise that really doesn't punish that guy all that much for doing that. He just takes the 4 fucking damage, which is nothing. And again, tactical decision making. The single damage on a move limits tactical decision making in terms of luring people into a trap and whatnot. Or in terms of, like, I got to get the fuck out of here, I'm going to take the 2 damage, you know. or the 4 damage on both spots. I'm going to take the 8 damage. I don't love the way that works, but whatever. Okay, so he's doing his attack. I'm trying to remember. Is there a disadvantage for being adjacent to somebody when you're doing a melee attack? I don't think so. No. So he rolls his attack. And he rolls a 1. Oh my god. Nyx is a beast. Fuck all this bullshit. She just takes the 8 damage. 8. Sucker. Okay. So that is the end of the round, which means that the round timer moves down 1. Yes. Yes. And then everybody gets refreshed. And we go into the next round. So I'm going to cut it there. And we will pick this back up. Start killing some of these motherfuckers. Somebody's going down. And that orb is going down too, if I can get there. So stay tuned for next time. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you later.